Minasan konnichiwa. Good afternoon,
Hello.
dear audience and panelists. I have the pleasure to bring greetings from the City of Happiness in the happiest country in the world. Yes, Finland was ranked as the happiest country in the world by UN for 7th time in a row. As you already heard, I'm Jaana Tuomi, the CEO of Espoo, and Espoo is owned by the City of Espoo. And I'm moderating this session to you. Happy to see you all here. In this panel, we will reveal secrets of one of the leading innovation and startup ecosystem in Europe, Espoo, the epicenter of Finnish innovation. Let's start with a few words about Espoo. Last year as a city, Espoo was ranked the 6th best city in Europe what comes to applied patents. Espoo is the fastest growing city in Finland and also the most international city. And it is situated just 10 minutes from Helsinki, our capital of Finland. Nearly half of the Finnish stock exchange companies' turnover is located in Espoo. We also have many headquarters in Espoo, like Nokia headquarters. Espoo is also a leading quantum and semiconductor hub in Europe. Now I will reveal you the first secret. 10 years ago, the collapse of Nokia mobile phone business gave a boost a student-driven Finnish startup culture. Many ex-Nokia engineers joined Aalto University students who together started the new startup movement. And the rest is history. Slush, the largest student-driven startup investor event, was born. Nowadays, one or more startups are born and founded every week in the Aalto University community. And many unicorns or soonicorns, soonicorns means startups which will be unicorns soon, are results of this highly developed startup culture. A few months ago, Aalto University's Aalto Startup Center was ranked in top 3 in the world what comes to business university accelerators. So in top 3 in the world. And now Espoo has become a famous deep tech and sustainable startups community. The startups related to sustainability support UN SDGs. And Espoo has also ranked twice the most sustainable city in Europe. Over 1.5 billion euros have been invested in startups, Espoo startups, in last 5 years. I have another secret to you as well. The secret is how we do things together. Open innovation spirit and collaboration are the core in everything what we do. We believe in radical and multidisciplinary collaboration and shared purpose. And that's how we ensure to come up with the kind of innovation the world needs. We build sustainable growth together with startups, corporations, research centers, universities, and the public sector. Before we go deeper into the startup ecosystem, it's time to introduce our panelists. We have here multidisciplinary experience in innovations and startups. would you like to introduce now yourselves and your companies? And I would like to ask Sanna, you to start.
Thank you, Jana. Good afternoon, everyone. Konnichiwa. I'm very happy to be invited to this panel and share opportunity to share experiences of Espoo's innovation ecosystem, which is undeniably globally very unique. My name is Sanna Örni, and I'm representing VTT Technical Research Center of Finland. I work in a business development responsible for carbon neutral and sustainable solutions, mainly for cities and energy. And my previous career was in Nordic energy utility sector, so energy transition is one of my favorite topics. Let me say a few words about VTT. VTT is visionary research, innovation, and development partner, and it is one of the largest research institutes in Europe. Our role is to promote utilization and commercialization of research and technology in business and society. And through research and technology, we really turn global challenges into practical solutions. And yes, our headquarters is located in this beautiful city of Espoo.
Thank you, Sanna. And then we go to Petri Alava.
Yes, super happy to be first of all here and having the opportunity of sharing our experiences of working in the Espoo ecosystem and at the same time also in the global fashion business. Global fashion business has a major environmental challenge today, as particularly the younger generation is becoming or has already become environmentally highly conscious. And the materials used in the fashion or textiles are the major problem and causing the highest environmental impact of producing textiles. And we have a solution to that. We are working with chemical recycling technology, which is turning textile waste, kind of trashed textiles collected from consumers, and turning that in a chemical process into a premium quality cotton-like new fiber. We call it Infinna. And for example, my shirt is a great example of the quality what we can make. So I've been wearing this shirt for 3 years, not every day without washing, have to admit. But to say, what we have really achieved is that the quality of the product is really on a par, or sometimes even better than what you get from the, say, virgin cotton material. So that makes for consumers very easy to buy the product from the shops. We are working very closely with the world's leading brands. They are customers, brands like Zara, Uniqlo, Adidas, H&M, and many of those companies are also our shareholders, investors. Our shareholder base includes companies like Fast Retailing, Inditex, Adidas, Goldwyn, just to name a few. And really super happy to work with such giants, which has been sometimes a hard work, but at the end of it pays off when you are working with such a companies. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Petri. And then Kozue-san.
Hi. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you for coming to this stage, because this stage A, there is a very, very giant speaker is on the stage. But please note, Finland is not the moving country. So there are a lot of startups. And my name is Kozue Nakayama. And so I'm the co-president of the Future Center Alliance Japan, which is to make a hub for the innovation, not only in Japan, across the countries, globally. And also that I'm assigned as an outside director of the premier stock market in Tokyo. And so I'm here as the two roles of my assignment. One is, how can I say, to make a bridge between Finland and Japan. And the second is to bridge investor and startup. Thank you. Hienoa.
Thank you very much, Kosue-san. Now we will hear more secrets of Espoo's innovation community and startup community. I have one question. The first question to Sanna Örni. VTT is also largest technical research center in the Nordics and one of the key actors in Espoo's innovation community what comes to innovations, patents and generating deep tech startups. Sanna, I have two questions to you. The first one is, could you tell us how you evaluate research teams as potential startups and how do you support them?
Thank you, Jaana. I would like to start by telling how VTT creates impact through its research. So we at VTT turn science into really practical innovations through applied research, and that means that we are improving customers' competitiveness through cross-disciplinary research. So meaning that companies can create new sustainable business. And by partnering with VTT, companies can do strategic research, they can speed up the product development and service development. And it's also possible to get access to VTT-created IP by licensing or buying it. And one way of creating impact to society is to create deep science spin-outs, startups. And VTT has its own incubation, we call it VTT Launchpad. And VTT Launchpad is committed to develop fundable spin-offs ventures that have great global impact. Then, how we evaluate those spin-outs that has potential for growth companies? Well, first, the business idea has to be built on VTT's IPR, that it can be spun out of our company. Secondly, the business idea must show a big market potential and it has to be scalable. Thirdly, it must to have a positive impact and also it has to have benefit for the society and its customers. And fourthly, it must be built on demonstrated technology. And last but not least, the company must be run by a team that can be grown to a fundable team. So those are the 5 things that we are measuring. VTT is really important in Finnish startup scene. In 2013, 2022, over 8% of the capital funding raised by Finnish startups was attracted by VTT spin-outs. Many of them are now globally known, like IQM, Onego Bio, Solar Foods, and Infinite Fiber. In 2023, so last year, we funded 3 spin-offs. Steady Energy, that develops low-temperature heating nuclear reactors, and Carbonate, that develops technology that enables manufacturing carbon-neutral or even carbon-negative and sustainable concrete. And third company was Semicon, that builds quantum processors for the million qubit era.
Thank you, Sanna. Very interesting, and thank you for revealing how you generate startups. But now, it would be good to hear also what kind of international players would you like to have present in Espoo's community? You collaborate closely with other ecosystems abroad.
Yes, in my opinion, Espoo has all the great things about the Finland, so it's like a mini Finland for me. A high level of education and competence, very clean and diverse nature, and a business-friendly and international atmosphere. You really should visit Espoo. It's a great city in Finland. And I really would like to attract companies that have ambitious goals, especially for the sustainable innovations and new business for utilizing high-tech, deep tech. And I believe that by getting to know our community, the Espoo community, you will realize how many opportunities you have. And Espoo and Finland, I think we are a very good gateway also to build a bridge to rest of the Europe when it comes to sustainable business solutions. And making proof of concepts and pilots, I think that is quite easy, rather easy in Finland. We are very low hierarchy and very easygoing country, so you really can save money and time by testing things first in Finland and then going abroad.
Thank you, Sanna. Thank you very much. Now we have more secrets to go. So we will hear from successful startup about Espoo startup innovation ecosystem. Petri Alava, you are the founder and CEO of Innovators Fiber Company. Your company is one of the rising stars in Espoo. And the warmest congratulations for closing 40 million euros funding this spring. One of the things of our innovation culture is radical multidisciplinary collaboration. Petri, your business is a good example of the radical mix of biotechnology, fashion and sustainability. Do you think such mindset is important to create new business? And how did you come up with Innovators Fiber Company's business idea?
Thanks for the great question. I think, let's say, first of all, the collaboration is really crucial. If there's one thing missing from Espoo, even from Finland, is that we don't have any textile industry left. So when I started looking at the innovation and the business opportunity around it, the first thing what we did was that we went around and started the discussion with the global brands, both small and large scale, in order to really understand, as well as their manufacturers, in order to really understand that what's their need and what's their benefit and what's their true need behind it. And what we learned eventually is that the kind of traditional textile industry supply chain is working from fiber to yarn to fabric to garment and then retailer. And we understood right from the beginning that the biggest beneficiary in this change is really the brand, which is the retailer, as they have the straight connection with the customers and the consumers. And we made the first kind of critical decision by ourselves that we need to be targeting the brand as a direct customer instead of going through the kind of traditional supply chain purchasing strategies. Secondly, we understood also that the only ones who can really kind of take the benefit and who can influence on the value chain are the largest brands, because they have the huge, massive purchasing power and influence on the manufacturers. So we decided right the first day that okay, the only way to get to the market is speaking and working closely with the largest brands. Eventually, we understood that, let's say, the collaboration with large brands is very demanding, as those are very large corporates, and there are thousands of people we need to be speaking with. But at the end of the day, it pays off. Secondly, collaboration is not only about, let's say, recognizing your customer. It's also kind of understanding that, let's say, what you need to supply, what is kind of making the biggest impact and influence on the customers. We would have had chances on using some other feedstocks than textile waste, but we understood that's a thing which really differentiates us from the competition. So that's the unique characteristic of the company. Going further in the collaboration, as we are really working on chemical process industry innovation, which means that eventually you need to be building large factories. And typically a startup company of 50 people is not let's say, corporate to build and invest on very large scale factories. So we are working very closely also with let's say, global manufacturers, industrial companies, research institutes in Finland, VTT, Aalto University. Enter Espoo is a great example of other kind of collaboration, as they've been helping us in great deal on organizing different meetings with investors, and as well as also the industrial players. So I think it's all around kind of collaboration, as the kind of 50 people organization can't make the let's say change and transformation happening globally alone. how did I come to this business idea? The business idea found me. My background is that I made a 25-year corporate background or career before starting the company, and the last 15 years of that corporate career, I was a corporate CEO in a couple of global businesses. When I was turning 50, I thought, okay, maybe I could do some more value for the world, to the planet, and I was looking for different kind of opportunities. And a great example of the open-mindedness of VTTs is that they figured out that the innovation was about kind of really building a global scale business. And they decided that they need to be looking a kind of experienced business leader who has already experience from leading global businesses. And I heard about the innovation through the direct research company who was looking for a talent. And what really attracted me here was that when I was speaking with the world's largest companies, the brands, that they were kind of thoroughly showing their engagement on making the change. So it was not only a discussion about the price, but really that they were looking for additional value in order to meet the expectations of the future consumers.
Thank you, Petri. So you used to work in a corporate world before. So what were the reasons why you yourself jumped into startup world?
Right, so I don't think that there's any kind of one single reason to say I love the corporate world. There are certain benefits of being a corporate CEO. Of course, it was kind of a relatively easy life, a lot of pressure. I was also a CEO of listed company where the quarters are decisive, so it's kind of evil vehicle where you are kind of every quarter needs to be proving the improved profits. Maybe I got a bit warned about kind of having a administrative job. So I've been always kind of loving building new businesses. What is known not only in Finland, it's all over the world. The corporate is eating the strategy as a breakfast. So kind of corporate policies and processes are so heavy that you can't create new innovations in such an environment. Simultaneously, I was also additionally working as a corporate CEO. I was a chairman of the board for a waste management company. So I really learned that there's a value in the waste. So kind of when I learned about this innovation, it really attracted my attention, as there was a possibility on creating additional value from the waste in highly interesting business environment. And now, let's say, when I started, what I didn't realize naturally that the first 2.5 years, I washing the office toilets myself. So a lot of handiwork, but I don't mind. It was still kind of having a lot of opportunities, and the enthusiasm around has been really great.
And I'm sure that your background really helps in your job now.
Maybe it didn't learn, let's say, teach me how to wash the toilet, but okay, it's also quite okay.
That's right, yes. But the other things you have done. What do you think is needed to support startups and growth companies like you? Or you already mentioned some collaboration between different entities, industries and sectors. But could you give some other examples from Espoo's innovation ecosystem?
I don't think it's only about, say, Espoo. Let's say what is really great in Finland is that we also have excellent funding kind of policies from the government, supporting really the kind of early stage innovations. There are grants available and public funding, soft loans available for the early stage companies, which are needed, particularly when you are kind of to take the innovations from the laboratory into pilot scale, so that you get the proof of the markets about the interest in the product. Second thing, what was really great for us is that for the early stage company, building the first pilot factories is a heavy burden. How to get the money, let's say, some millions of dollars or euros to build something where the investor needs to be waiting 2 years to see whether it works. VTT was a great example in that, as they were really building and investing the pilot factory for ourselves. So we hired those facilities, and they also helped us in the beginning to ramp up the facility so that it's fully functional. So I think those are, let's say, two great examples that what additionally exists in Espoo, apart from the great universities and great scientists. A lot of technology companies who are also participating in our development, as we are not doing all the research by ourselves, but we are outsourcing a lot of tasks to the equipment technology providers and using their capabilities. And as mentioned, Enter Espoo is itself a great example of organizing the additional opportunities of meeting additional companies, possibilities, investors. So it's a great society and ecosystem.
Thank you, Petri. You really can take advantage of all the key partners in Espoo and Finland. Next we have Kozue Nakayama. You are co-president FCHA, Future Center Alliance Japan. And you visited Espoo last October with Japanese corporate members. You spent a week there and get understanding of Espoo's way of innovating and collaborating with partners. Your visit program had 4 different angles: startups, R&D, education and the city. Kozue-san, what were the most important takeaways from this visit?
It is quite difficult to select one, and I want to say everything. But if I dare to select one thing, scenario making for urban planning is the most valuable takeaway for me, which belongs to R&D, education, and the city, I think. But Finnish urban planning is based on the scenario, scientific and mathematical calculation, and qualitative interview with the expertise person with very, very long-term vision. Of course, in Japan, there are a lot of expertise for urban planning. But sometimes we just rely on their intuitive feelings. But in Finland, they can collaborate very easily across the different areas, such as scientists or sociologists, and also the urban planner, and so on. I think it is a very good way for us to learn from the Finland. This is my impression.
Thank you. Very, very interesting to hear this. You also visited Startup Sauna and Design Factory. Their students are in charge and they build entrepreneurial culture. What was your impression?
Very interesting. Aalto University itself is a kind of a joint venture, I think. So because an Aalto University is like to join the Tokyo University and the Tokyo Arts University and the Tokyo Industrial University. The Aalto University, just I think that 10 years ago or something like that, Aalto University started the new entity for the education and for the startup. And also that there are a lot of students who has an entrepreneurship, but I'm very surprised that I'm a kind of an explorer for the innovation around the world. 2 weeks ago, I visited the Silicon Valley. The Silicon Valley's people's motivation is monetarized. But when I look at when I talked with startup sound people, students, their motivation is to solve the societal issues. Very voluntary, they support the startup and they change the CEO of the accelerator of the student community and hand over to the CEO to the next generation, just 2 years or 3 years and so on, not monetarize. This is very impressive for me.
Thank you, Kosue-san, for sharing your experiences. We continue now to the next topic. We will talk about a little bit collaboration between Japan and Finland, and we continue with Kosue-san.
Okay.
So what kind of Japanese companies could benefit from collaboration with Espoo's innovation community, and why?
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. I think that so the mental base between Finland and the Japanese are very quite similar, I think, because the Japanese from the very long ago, Japanese supporting each other and helping each other and so on. This is a base psychological mindset. And so also that Finland people want to solve the societal problem, societal issues. Also that Japanese is not that the first prioritized thing is not monetarize. The first prioritized thing is to solve the societal issues and to collaborate, want to collaborate each other. I think that if the company or entity has an confront of the societal issues or SDGs issues, I think that a Finnish company or Finnish entity is a very good partner or collaborator for Japanese company or Japanese entity. Because Finland is surrounding by the very, how can I say, risky countries. And Japan is also. Japan has a lot of surrounding risky countries. I think that such kind of circumstances very similar. And I think that it is quite easy to collaborate from the very small size of the startup, and we can have a very nice collaboration. This is my opinion. Okay?
The feelings are the same. Thank you so much for your kind words, and we also think that it's very easy and nice to collaborate with Japanese companies, but especially people. People are the most important thing, isn't it, in collaboration? So Japan is also a great innovator country. So what could Finland learn from Japan?
I think that this is a very difficult question, but for example, you have an iPhone and smartphone, but I think that an iPhone parts consist of the Japanese technology, almost consist of the Japanese technology. I think Japan has a unique technology and unique idea, but we are not good at to combine those things together or to monetize or systematically to do such kind of things. And to make an ecosystem efficiently we are not good at to making such kind of things. I think that, but Finnish people can learn from Japanese companies such kind of the technology and very detailed technique and so on. And I think we can have a nice collaboration.
That sounds excellent. So we seem to need each other, so we can learn from each other.
Yes, I think so.
Thank you, Kosue-san, for your words. Now let's continue to Petri. What kind of collaboration are you looking for in Japan?
Yes, I've been doing business in Japan for 30 years, so 30 years. And let's say doing business in Japan with Japanese people is very easy. We have surprisingly a lot in common. For example, the extreme tolerance for silence. Sometimes the dinner tables are a bit silent, but okay, that doesn't matter really. But kind of seriously speaking, so what I'm really appreciating in Japan is the kind of patience. So when you're working with the Japanese companies, there's loyalty, there's a long-term view, so it's not kind of rushing every month from issue to another, but there's a really, let's say, long-term view on everything what we are doing together. Then looking at what we are really, let's say, looking in Japan is that we already have the kind of two highly important collaboration partners, fast retailing and Goldwyn. So of course, kind of learning from them the kind of determination on quality. That's, let's say, that is quite extreme in Japan. That the kind of both on the manufacturing side as well as on the product side, there's a very strict quality standards, and learning from those collaborations and from their manufacturers that what we need to gain in order to be really kind of fully market proven. Of course, we are looking at additional brands if we can find in Japan, so that would be naturally nice. Second thing, what we are looking for is kind of working together with industrial corporations who already know about, let's say, manufacturing practices, not only in Japan but in Southeast Asia. There are a lot of great companies in Japan who have built operations into Southeast Asia, which is the holy grail of the textile industry. So kind of working together in joint ventures, establishing factories, and utilizing the kind of performance know-how, investment know-how, and the project execution know-how of the large corporates would be great value. Third thing is then that the capital market is excellent in Japan. You have a lot of investors who are really looking at sustainable investments, and we are a good example of that. So we will start looking next year to raise a serious amount of money in order to kind of start building the first factory, and there we are really looking for Japanese corporates or investors on joining us and making the miracle happening.
Thank you. I'm really waiting for all your next steps in Japan. Sanna, you have visited Japan almost every 3 months in the recent years. Why is Japan so important to VTT, and can you tell us some example cases that you are working with in Japan right now?
Thank you, Jaana. Yes, I think in Japan, research and high-tech technology are valued. And to be frank, all of us in Europe are using Japanese technology and innovations on a daily basis by driving a car or using some equipments. And Japanese research and business, I think, have a lot to offer and contribute to the solutions for green transformation, GX. And I truly believe that a lot of globally spreading technologies that will mitigate, for example, climate change and support sustainable development will be developed in collaboration with Japanese companies. International collaboration is really, really important for VTT and the whole Finland. And I have found it personally, and we as a company have found like-minded organizations here in Japan and companies that has ambitious research targets, visions. And what I really like personally in Japanese corporate R&D approach is the concretism, and that is very important if we want to make impact. And also Japanese companies have desire to find business potential and impact for the society through deep tech and science. We have been co-creating and developing with Japanese partners, for example, sustainable solutions for Arctic and cold regions, for energy, for buildings, frameworks for how to build digital trust for the society, as a case example, Finnish cities, and data-driven methods for how to track renewable energy and the origin of energy. And these are just to mention a few cases. And this is actually a second time with my colleague to visit Japan, and I have seen so many great places, and I have so many great friends here in Japan, and it's always a pleasure to come back. You feel so welcome and safe here. We have also received many Japanese delegations and guests in Finland and in Espoo. I really believe that there is a strength in cooperation, this kind of face-to-face cooperation, thanks that after COVID we can do this. And as a small Finland, we can nevertheless provide some unique expertise that can be utilized together in solving global challenges and create a new sustainable growth together.
Thank you so much, Sanna, also sharing your experiences here in Japan and collaboration with Japan. Dear audience, I hope we revealed some of the secrets of success from Espoo's innovation and startup ecosystem and our collaboration with Japan. Thank you, Kosue-san, Petri, Sanna, for great discussions and highlights of Espoo's innovation community. This panel is an example, great example of a multidisciplinary expertise and great collaboration with shared purpose. That helps us build sustainable growth together and aims for that kind of innovation the world needs. So the collaboration is core in everything what we do. I warmly welcome you to the City of Happiness in the happiest country in the world, Espoo, Finland, and get to know more about our Espoo's innovation and startup community. And if you want to know more, please, you are welcome to come to our booth today or tomorrow. Our booth is CI19, and you will find there one more startup, Arctic Farming. Also in this event there are some other startups, IQM, which is concentrating on quantum computing, and ICE-I for satellites. Just to mention a few. So IQM, ICE-I and Infinity Fiber are those unicorns which I mentioned in the beginning. So they are going to be unicorns very soon. So that's an international ranking where they have been mentioned. But now, thank you for coming and spend time with us. I hope to meet you soon again. Arigato, thank you, and bye-bye.
Thank you very much.